My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Judgment Day. The end of the world. It's today, 3 hours from now.
2 hours and 53 minutes.
Yo, everybody! What's up? It's Jizz7780, and it's What Grinds My Gears, episode 59. Sony State of Play shows Xbox State of Decay. So, this is a thing that's been going on. I've been thinking about this just for a few days. I know it's been about a week or so, and appreciate you guys coming out. What's up, Merc? Yo! What's up? I think Merc just had a birthday celebration last week. Congrats, man. I think today's Frog's birthday. Shout out to Frogs. Happy birthday. Everybody be having those birthday parties. But just one of the things that, I didn't really give my impressions on State of Play. And, one of the things that I do here is it's all video games and, it's all competition. It's all what one does. Nobody works really independently. Everybody has to be aware of what's going on. Sony knows what's going on with their thing, and then Nintendo knows what's going on with them. Microsoft knows what's going on with Google, what's going on Amazon, with Apple. Everybody needs to be made aware. So it is fair to compare what is going on. And actually, this thing came to me as I was listening to podcasts and just listening to impressions of State of Play and what that is. I'll move my headset a little bit so I don't shout into the microphone. What's up, Gregor? What's up, Coon? 1985. What's up, man? I'm going to pop out the chat and move that over that way. So it's been coming together. So I watched State of Play, and, again, it was 10 minutes. I was traveling. What's up, Sizzle of 420? What's up, man? So I was, watching State of Play. I was out traveling, and it was only 10 minutes. I watched it, and this was Sony's second State of Play, and they said it was gonna be 10 minutes. They're gonna talk about a new game and an update to anticipated game, and spoilers of the 10 minutes is basically the game that they showed an update to was Final Fantasy VII, the remake that broke the internet when they announced it. Guys were crying and stuff like that, and then they showed an update of it. It looks really cool, no date, but they're going to give an update to at E3, I guess during Square Enix's presentation. They'll update when it's coming out, what if it's going to be timed exclusive, multiplat, who the hell knows, PC, PlayStation. We don't know. But one of the games that was in there was Predator. And it's made by the developers that made Friday the 13th. What's up, Grinder? Grinder's up. Don't call me Danny. How you doing? Don't call me Danny came in. I gotta give him his grinding sound effect. So they showed us the Predator game, right? They didn't show the gameplay or anything like that. They basically showed a video. At first, people thought it was SOCOM. Because it started with the picture that I tweeted out, which says Sony Interactive Entertainment presents, and it triggered me. It's interesting because first off, Friday 13th, we know what's up. The Finest, how you doing, man? Like Friday 13th came out, and we all know that had some network issues in the beginning. All this stuff. Like, I'm not going to say that this game was a gem or anything like that, but it did capture, the whole aspect of Friday the 13th. So, one of the things, and now they added dedicated servers last year. It was a PS Plus game last year. But what was really cool about it is that it really captured the idea of Friday the 13th in this asymmetrical multiplayer, which, what game was it? Some games tried to do. Actually, they tried to do this with Fable, and then they did it with Evolve. And where there's one person's the enemy and 5 people are trying to kill the one person. Or in Fable, the canceled game, Fable Legends, one person was the overseer of the map and activating different traps and stuff like that, and then the other people were trying to get through. And then one was kind of the enemy AI. Very cool. I played that at PAX. I thought that Fable was pretty unique. It was pretty cool, this asymmetric gameplay. And then Evolve tried to do it. Problem with Evolve, I think, is they try to make it a sport e-games and all that other shit, and it didn't really work out for them. But it was not a bad game. But I just didn't like the way they kind of evolved, pun intended, of that game was kind of sad with, like, you know, adding extra guys and trying to make this hero type shooter with DLC and different types of boss. There were only 3 enemy, like, 3 types of monsters in it. But anyway, this asymmetrical multiplayer has been around. So Predator now, and I've read the blog on PlayStation Blog, was basically saying that, you know, one person's the Predator. I think it's going to be the third person, first person shooter, and you know, the other characters are going to be, the other players are going to be the actual, like, army men in the woods and stuff like that, and one person to be the Predator. And they got the license with Fox, and they said that they wanted to do a Predator game, and then Sony approached them, and Sony Interactive is supporting this game, and they got Fox on board with the licensing of Predator to make this game happen, and it's going to release next year. And it made me think, as I always do, and, you know, people could criticize, and they're probably not going to like what I got to say, you know, but this is how I feel about it. It's like, you got to look and go, why? And now I'm not saying that this is going to be, this Predator game is going to be amazing, is going to be, but it's these middle of the road games, these double A tiered games, or these moves that the competition of Xbox has been doing. And Xbox is just sitting there buying studios, and people are looking at LinkedIn pages and looking at cubicles and looking at buildings, and it's like, for example, if you wanted a hamburger and you went somewhere and they're like, well, we gotta start a farm first, and then we'll get the cows, and then we'll get the grain, and then we'll get the meat, and then we'll make you a burger. Or do you say, hey, I could go to the supermarket and go get the meat and make my burger? Why is that with Microsoft, a $1 trillion company, is not going out and getting games? Especially since they're building these studios from scratch. They know it takes 3 to 4 years. They know that it takes time. Why would Microsoft not go and just get some games? Like, who is the person over there that's the equivalent of the person who made this Predator deal? The person who made the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 being on Nintendo Switch exclusively. The person who said, yo, here's the game that Sony's putting together. Let's make Iron Man, you know, and let's make it a VR game. Like, who's the equivalent of at Microsoft that does that stuff? Because say what you will about the games, the problem is, and, you know, people say Xbox has no games, but this is the point. Why are they starting from scratch? It's nice. It's something that is definitely, I'm not saying that they're sitting idle, but why do we need to start from the beginning when they have a new studio? Now they're relocating them, they're giving them funding, they're hiring people and all this other stuff, when they could be going out there and you got to admit this. The deals of Sunset Overdrive, the deals of Quantum Break, over the last 3 years, those deals have ceased up. I think the last remnant of that was Sumo Digital with Crackdown. But the deal for Rise of the Tomb Raider, these moves that Microsoft made showed that they wanted to deliver games to the gamers. And over the past 3 years, it has been more about Windows 10 and features and services than bringing games to gamers. And that is when it started grinding my gears.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Because all of a sudden, the platform of a video game system has turned into a device of Windows 10. Where is their interest in satisfying the gamer? Why aren't they going out and getting games? You gotta admit, in the beginning of the Xbox's generation, in the Xbox One generation, they went out there and got Rise. Who's that person that got Rise? Who's that person that did the deal with Dead Rising 3? Who's the person that got... is this Don Matrick? Is this Donnie D?
Don't do that.
I won't mention his name as Donnie D. But who did this? Was it Phil? Who was that person? Because look at what Sony is doing, what Nintendo's doing, what Epic Store is doing. Now Epic Store's now making games. And I agree, Mark. None of those deals ever planned out, but I don't know if Microsoft ever wanted the sequels to those games. But even if it's glorious, Kev's like going in on that Epic Store. Where's my mouse? I'll show it. Where's this thing? But like, where is the I just want to know who that person is, because over the last 3 years they've shown investment in buying a studio. They're buying studios, but it's like we gotta start there. Like, okay, they hiring some people. They're hiring some people. And it's just like, they know this time, but why are they not getting these deals? And the thing is like, maybe that Predator game is gonna suck. Maybe that Iron Man VR game is gonna suck. I tell you, the Batman did pretty well to show like Batman. It was short, but the Batman was pretty cool. But the thing is like, who at Nintendo is going to Activision or going to Marvel and going, yeah, we want we want the next that Avengers game exclusive on our platform. Like, that's where I have to just go, like, I have to scratch my head and go, that's where I find that Microsoft has let me down. And I think has let a lot of Xbox gamers down. Now, people will sit back and they would think that, you know what, I'm going to wait, I'm good, I'm not going anywhere. Fine. But you cannot say that you are satisfied with just Microsoft just all of a sudden just dried up over the last 3 years. This is years. This is not like, I haven't had a game in the last few months or something like that. This is years. 3 years. The last 2 years, we had holiday games of Forza Motorsports and Lucky's Tales. That was...
I'm not authorized to answer your question.
What games? What games? Is that what Phil says? I can't answer your question?
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
And that's what we say at E3. We gotta wait for you, the big surprise. And what is the big surprise? The big surprise is just more multi-platform games. Where are their deals? Sony, and this is the thing that gets me. A state of play, a 10-minute episode. How many Inside Xboxes have we watched that in the 2 state of plays that Sony has announced, we went in there not knowing what the hell they got, and we have an Iron Man VR game and a multiplayer Predator game. All right, maybe they're shit. Maybe they suck. But think about first of all, they're known IPs. They're exclusive games. They're done in something that you go, that does seem kind of interesting. Oh my God, Merc and Kevin just going at it about the Epic Store. I'll talk a little bit about that, guys. But I really wanted to do the state of play. But every time we watch that inside Xbox, we're like, it's not E3. It's not E3.
It's time to quit jammering before I start hammering.
Like, it's not E3. What are you expecting? What are you expecting? Well, let me give a scenario. Sony goes and has 2 state of plays. They announce Iron Man VR, show an update of Final Fantasy VII, which, again, we don't know if it's exclusive or not, but still, it's a high-profile game, and it's an update that Sony only has been showing. There's been no indication from Microsoft that it's coming to their platform. So it's still appearing as a Sony exclusive. Right? Predator game. Nintendo has a direct. They announced that game from Platinum. I don't know all these games offhand. I understand. These are not prime time shows, State of Play and Inside Xbox, but I'm just talking about the content. All right? They are not E3s. We know that. But even though it's not an E3, they announced new games there that are only on their platform, or new games that are sound intriguing on paper. Inside Xbox, on the other hand, and Microsoft's news is like, Sony's like, here you go. Here's a Predator multiplayer game. Here's Iron Man VR. Nintendo comes out and goes, oh, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, yeah, the third one is coming to our platform exclusively. Oh, Platinum Games, here's another exclusive game that they're making this holiday that's coming out for Nintendo Switch exclusively. A new IP. And then Microsoft announces news and going, guys, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare is backwards compatible today. And you're like,
you want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
Like, guys, Ninja Gaiden is playable today. We've enhanced like, you sit there. What's up, Jemiah? How you doing, man? You sit there and you're like, okay, that's nice. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that shit's bad. Like, oh, shit, yeah. You know, that they're doing it okay, backwards compatibility. No, that's awesome. That's a thing. But think, like, new games versus, guys, you could play your old games. Like, that's the kind of news that you get out of Inside Xboxes. And it's like, what are you expecting? And it's like, yeah, Predator is not no friggin' E3 announcement. Iron Man VR is not a E3 announcement. But it's still something that could be intriguing. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's still something that shows that they're bringing games to gamers. Games with IPs. Games with known IPs. And who's making those deals? Why isn't Microsoft tapping the people who made Friday the 13th and going, you know what, let's make a game together? Or tapping the shoulders of the guys that made some other game and go, let's make a game together. Like, they haven't done that. It's either Gears, Forza, or Halo, and indie games. Where are the middle of the road games? Where are the games equivalent to like what State of Decay 1 was? Like that, not indie, but like that kind of middle of the road game. Like, where are those filler games that we should get? Instead, what happens is that instead of Gears of War, they take these games like State of Decay 2 and like Sea of Thieves and voice them up to a level of equivalent of, and these games are not ready for prime time. You know, Sea of Thieves, when it first launched, was not ready for prime time. Exactly, Black Metal Gamer. Where is the new Killer Instinct? Like, they had these games. And this is the thing that kills me, is that this is not like Microsoft started this generation with their heads up their ass.
You want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my
They
guest.
didn't do that. They didn't do that. They started this generation as they did the 360 generation, with games like Killer Instinct, like Dead Rising 3, like Rise, like Titanfall. Who made that Titanfall deal? Why is somebody else not making those kind of deals out there? Who's that person at Microsoft? Because guess what? The competition's making those deals. And those deals would pacify the length of time taking for these studios to get their feet together, to get their shit together. Because we don't know what the hell these studios are going to make. And it will suck if you sit here for 3 years and the Collective comes out and it's like, yo, here's a card game, dudes.
What the fuck?
We always wanted to make a battle card game, and here you go. And it's like, wait, we waited 3 years for that? That's like, you know, like, really, like, we waited 3 years for that? Like, here you go. And here's a perfect example. I don't know what Ninja Theory's new game is going to be, right? But I could tell you this. Ninja Theory's new game from what we hear, is not going to be the game that everybody thought you were going to get when they announced their acquisition of Ninja Theory. When they announced the acquisition of Ninja Theory, everybody's like, yo, here is a single-player, narrative-driven, cinematic game studio. Let's go. Equivalent to, the type of games that we don't really have on Xbox, such as the Uncharted, what Hellblade was. But instead, it seems that this may be a four-player melee multiplayer online only game. Whether it's third person or whether it's top down rogue style like those type of, what the hell is the friggin' game? I'm drawing a blank. The like a top down rogue style, like a top down game I drew a blank. Like isometric RPG, exactly. Like something along those lines. Like exactly. Everybody's thinking they're going to Hellblade 2. So that's why there's a lot of mystery here with going on with this stuff. Like we don't know what types of games these guys are making, and why isn't Microsoft just in the business of Diablo? Thank you, Glorious Kev. I was drawing a blank here. I was just like staring at my Stream Deck, thinking if I should use one of my little hype things here. But I'll wait. But yeah, Diablo, exactly. What happens if Ninja Theory releases a 4-player Diablo type game? Like what happens if they release a 4-player like a multiplayer online game? That's the thing. Like we don't know what these studios are making, but you got to understand, why is Microsoft investing in studios when they have so much money? And they could be making these deals. And I know, like what Merck said, like these deals really didn't work out for them, like the Tomb Raider deal, like the Sunset. But they wanted to do Sunset too. But Microsoft was the one that didn't really want a sequel to that stuff. They didn't explore Quantum Break 2, and then they made Control, which looks a little bit like Quantum Break. So like these studios want to still make games. It's just they need, I think that Microsoft vision, this is my speculation. Now,
What do you mean I'm not an expert?
This is my speculation. My thing is why to try to answer my own question, why hasn't Microsoft really pursued more games in the last 3 years? They pursued studios, they talked about services, and people are like, well, they got to have studios to make the games. Well, Sony announced Predator. And I'm using Predator as an example because it just came out of the blue. They wanted to make a Predator game. Sony said, we will support you in making that game, got the license from Fox, and Sony presents. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents this game. We didn't need a studio. We didn't need a LinkedIn website. We didn't need a hiring spree. We didn't need recruiting of massive talent. We didn't need a tease from Phil Spencer or what's his name? Friggin' Sean Layden going, we're making a game, but we're building a studio. We located them over in Santa Monica, and and people start following LinkedIn going, what are they making? What are they making? No. Sony just went out there, grabbed the game, said we wanted this game, grabbed it by the balls, said our gamers might like it, there might be a market for it, let's go. There was none of this like, well, we need a studio to build the games, let's start hiring, let's go, why are we starting with the farm to get the burger on Microsoft land? You're a $1 trillion company. Why are you not out there shopping for games, shopping for developers, getting IP, making people Killer Instinct 2? Where is this stuff for the last 3 years?
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
3 years. And I'm not talking just about Disney games. I understand, like Disney with the Marvel with the green light and all. I understand that. But like, there are a lot of things out there. Those guys, like, what about the studio that made BioShock? Come make BioShock 4 just on our platform, if they're still around. Like, where is that? Who is the person at Xbox and Microsoft that's shopping for games for gamers, thinking that their fans would like this game? That's why people cry when they see Super Smash Brothers. Because Nintendo's catering to their fans. But why has Microsoft just ceased to get games for gamers? Instead, we're here looking at buildings being built for studios. So to answer my question of what happened, like why I think Microsoft's no longer in it for these like games, for these kind of like going and get whoever reached out and got Titanfall coming to the platform. I know exclusives are not Microsoft's thing anymore, but even if it's a PC and an Xbox exclusive, I'm not even talking about that whole thing because that whole fiasco. And I think though that factors into a lot of these deals. That's what I do think, because this is my speculation. I think that Microsoft had to buy these studios in order to get these developers to use their services for Windows 10, their game stack, to use their services and features and platforms. Because I think if Microsoft went out, say for example, the Predator developer, or they went out there and they said, hey, we want Quantum Break 2. Microsoft now is telling these devs, well, we want Quantum Break 2, but you got to make it for Xbox and PC. And the dev might be like, no, we just want to make it on the platform first, and then we'll put it over to PC. And Microsoft's like, no, we want our stuff day and date with Play Anywhere program we want. Well, we don't have enough people in our studio to make, a game on Xbox and co-develop it on Xbox and PC at the same time. And maybe that's why it's difficult for Microsoft to shop around for this. Like, for them to go to these guys and get these games, because Microsoft has committed to this model of Play Anywhere. Or, like, if you're going to make a game for Xbox, you got to put it on PC day one. And I'm thinking that kind of interfered maybe with some of their deals. But I think the biggest thing is that if they're like, well, you got to use our services. You can make the IP that you want. Like, we're not going to tell you what type of game to make, but you're going to have to use our distribution. You're going to have to use our services, our features. You're going to have to use that stuff. And I think they came in with this baggage that the only way that they could enforce that is by owning the studio. So yeah, Ninja Theory, your next game will use Play Anywhere, will use PC development, will come out on PC day one, will use Havoc, will use all the cloud, will use this, will use that, will use the Windows 10 store, you will use UWP. We own you now. People, do you think those buildings, when you see those devs going, oh, we have so many resourcing right now. We got a new building now. Ninja Theory has a new building. They're building number 2. You think that comes for free? You think Microsoft just wants to build buildings for developers? You think they just want to throw money at developers? What are they getting back? Oh, they're getting back. That shit comes with collateral. That shit comes with, here's your new building, state-of-the-art shit that you're going to work on. But guess what? You're going to be also making this game for PC and Xbox day one. And I think that they have that control over them. Like, you can make, you want to make Hellblade 2, you want to make a top-down shooter, you want to make a card game, you can make the IP that you want. You just got to use our shit. And that's where I think Microsoft's vision is different than Nintendo's and Sony's. Where Nintendo's and Sony's want developers to make a game because that game will appeal to their fan base, to their core fan base. Microsoft's not in that business. Microsoft is in the business of use our shit so that other developers will see our shit being used, so they will use our shit in their games. And it's almost analogous, and I say this all the time, to Windows Phone. Windows Phone died because they could not get app developers to make apps for Windows Phone Store. Microsoft started paying devs to make apps for them. And on top of that, Microsoft started, Joe Belfiore was tweeting that they actually started making the apps for the devs. going, what's your, we'll just send us the shit. We'll make the app for you to put it on. That's how desperate they were to get people on Windows Phone. And when nobody came to Windows Phone, the ecosystem died. Look at UWP. Look at Windows 10. Look at this whole cross-play, who's using it? Not a lot of people. It didn't take off. It's been 2 to 3 years. Who's been using it? Devs don't want to waste their time with it. And that's a problem. And Microsoft's like, well, somebody needs to use it, so we need to do it. And that's the reason why their games on day one on Game Pass. They're trying to get that ball rolling. Phil said it. It's called the pinwheel model. I think I alluded to one of the previous podcasts. This pinwheel model, where you keep adding stuff to this, or the flywheel. You keep adding stuff to the flywheel, and then eventually the flywheel gains its own inertia, and then it starts spinning on its own. That's the Game Pass model that he said in one of his interviews. He wants to have this thing, like, he wants that inertia to start carrying Game Pass. I'm not saying Game Pass is a bad service, but they want other devs to get on board and see this thing. And by Microsoft jump-starting it, by putting their games on their day one, they're jump-starting that Game Pass to try to get that inertia going to get people on board with it. But it's not about the games, it's about the Game Pass. And that's the thing. It's about the services. It's not about bringing bringing games to your audience, which is the thing that I'm on. I'm playing games now. Yo, cool story, bro, about the thing in the future. Thank you very much. But don't start telling me about doing strap-ons to my controller and I'm going to be playing on my phone. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, come on. That's not ready for prime time yet. There's a lot of stipulations. There's data caps. There's streaming restrictions. There's what happens if somebody calls your phone when you're playing a game. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit. But it shows. Just look at Crackdown 3. I streamed it. You cannot play Crackdown 3 online. Nobody's playing it. That thing is on technically 700 million devices. It's on all your Windows 10 PCs and it is on Xbox. And still, that game is available, like Phil Spencer says. More people to play our game. More people to play our game. But guess what? If there's no demand to play a game, then nobody wants to play it. Doesn't matter how many. You could have a billboard every block saying, eat here, eat here, eat here. If you have shit food, it doesn't matter how many billboards you have. Nobody's going to your fucking store.
I don't play this game.
Like, it doesn't matter. Look how many ads you could get spam. That's what spam is. Microsoft's trying to spam their shit. But it's shit. You gotta make quality games. Epic was a fucking joke. And now they got balls of fucking steel. When Fortnite first released without the Battle Royale, it was forgettable. Gone. It was out for like 4, 5, 6 months, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden they have Battle Royale. Now they got balls of steel. You take Ubisoft, come in bed with us. Because people came for the game. And when you got the game, you could do anything. When you got people, Sony, God of War, Spider-Man. Sony had Spider-Man console on sale for like $200. I think it came back on Amazon. It sold out again. That's not because people need PlayStation 4s. It's because the Spider-Man was a great game. And people can get it bundled with, hey, let's buy another one. I've never seen a company like Xbox, like Microsoft, that has so many versions of their console, so many options. Now we got the sad edition. And bundles galore. They bundled with Fallout. They bundled with Battlefield. They bundled with Assassin's Creed. Bundles galore. Have an X, that goes on sale. You could trade in a PlayStation 4 Pro or a Switch right now for $300 and get it towards an Xbox One X. You think the GameStop is doing that because there's a demand for Xbox? You think there's a demand for the Xbox One X because GameStop is offering Nintendo Switch full price trade-in, $300 if you have a Switch to go buy an Xbox One X? You think because they can't keep them in stock? That's because nobody's buying them. So tell me that they're offering these deals, $300 trade-ins for an Xbox One X. They got bundles galore. They got the discless or the Varus edition, the ballless Xbox to cut the dick off of the Xbox, and they call it a discless console, the dickless console. And they got all these different combos, sales galore on the Xbox base model, like on the S, down to like 220, 200. All these options. They got Game Pass for $1. I would buy that for $1. $1 for 3 months. All these options. But I'm talking more about the consoles. And they can't make a dent in NPDs. Ever. They can't even come in second. I'm not even talking about first. They can't even come to second place. Only when the X was released did they come into second place. That's right, Kev. None of it will sell. All these options. All these different ways to wipe your ass. And they still cannot move the hardware. And why is that? Why is that? It's because they don't have desirable games on there. And whatever desirability or demand that they had for that console, they have spread it thin. They put all their shit, PC shit, they put all their stuff on PC. They put their services and stuff, balls in the wind, on the Switch. Yo, Cuphead with all the Xbox features. Join us. And they dumped all their games. They reduced the demand for the console. You know what? If you reduce the demand for the console, how the fuck are you going to try to sell more consoles? How are you going to walk out on E3 with a straight face and try to sell more $500 to $600 hardware when you say yourself, I don't give a shit where people play? I said this example before. You walk up to a store and a fucking, just think of McDonald's. You walk up to fucking McDonald's and you about to order and the person goes, I don't give a shit if you eat here or not. Go to fucking Burger King. We got their burgers over there. Would you be eager to spend your money at that store? That's what Phil has done to everybody. He looked you in the face and going, I don't care where you play. Here's a $500 piece of hardware. Dude!
What the fuck?
Tell you the truth, this guy's starting to get on my nerves.
And on top of that, you don't have the library to even make a demand for your hardware. So that's the thing that boggles my mind. It's called the Philness, as I call it. But how do you come out on stage and try to sell more hardware when you don't care? Like, that hardware is not driving your business. Oh, it's just an option. And like I said it before, you know, you got your toilet and you got the bushes. You could go take a shit in the bushes. It's an option. But just like the Xbox discless console, the sad edition, you're probably not going to go take a shit in the bushes. But it's an option. You don't have to take a shit in the toilet. You go take a shit in the bushes. All these options. The problem is that if you don't have the content and you really are just throwing shit against the wind, or pissing in the wind, basically that's what they're doing, shit against the wall. Half-assed thoughts. That's right. All right. Shit on Xbox, then a total of bushes. But like, I don't get it. Where is the drive for content, for games? And don't tell me these fucking studios. Like I said before, why are we building a farm to get the hamburger? Nintendo didn't have to go, yo, guys, there's construction going on up in over in Redmond. There's construction going on. There's a building. Nintendo hired somebody. Oh shit, they hired somebody else. They got a janitor. They filled up the 5 cubicles. LinkedIn. The guy used to work as a janitor. Holy shit, they got a plumber. Check LinkedIn again. They got an electrician. They got an IT department, a help desk. And we're following this shit every week. Every fucking week. And I'm like, they got a help desk. They got IT. All right, now let's wait a couple of years. They're going to make some games. No, Nintendo comes out there with the Nintendo Direct and goes, yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 coming exclusive to a fucking platform. Peace, motherfuckers. Oh, and Platinum Games, yeah, there's an exclusive game from them too. The Sony comes out, yeah, you know what? Here's some teas. Well, what's this? Iron Man VR. Here you go. Oh, shit, Predator asymmetrical multiplayer game. Yeah, here you go. There's no kind of like build up. Like, there's no, like, they're hiring people. Oh man, what are they going to make? We don't even know what they're going to make. We know that they made like okay games before. And that's the other thing, that these people getting these studios really haven't proven themselves, except for Ninja Theory with Hellblade. Like, I think that was an incredible game. But Ninja Theory before that, they made some alright games. Let's not talk about the Collective. Like, these guys are not really, like, these are not like fucking IP factories right now. There's some of these guys. Obsidian worked on a lot of other people's IP. So, like, you know, these studios are getting all this money, and they're like, they're not like, oh, yo, we bought Rockstar. Holy shit, get in here. You know? Like, I think if a Sony buys Insomniac, that will be a huge. But, like, you gotta think about this shit. Like, this is unfair as a gamer. There is no way that we should be following LinkedIn to get us excited about games. That is like the last ditch effort, that you're looking at LinkedIn and looking at people's fucking CVs to determine whether they're going to make you a game or not and what kind of game they worked on. Listen, that is okay if they were still giving us games now, but the fact that you just got to sit there and scroll through LinkedIn and talk about this hiring, like, that's news that they're hiring people, that's great. But you need to have, like, where are those deals? And that's what, you know, what game was I thinking about? Fucking, what game was it? Like, even Killer Instinct 2. That would have been a great game for an Inside Xbox. Like, yeah, it's not E3. But, like, Killer Instinct 2. Like, Ori. I guess Ori. But, like, these games, like, you don't need E3 announcements. Like, people go, well, Inside Xbox is not E3. It's not. But I think announcing Iron Man, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and you know, the Predator game, and showing, like, an update to a game that's coming out, like Final Fantasy, that has this huge, like, you know, people waiting for more information, and you got to show it, is a lot better than them coming on Xbox going, guess what's coming to Game Pass this month, guys? You could play Saints Row 3 on Tuesday! And it's like,
What the fuck?
enhanced!
What the fuck?
Oh, wait a second. We're not done. You think we're done? Xbox Game Pass subscribers, you think we're done? Oh my god, here it comes, Fallout 4!
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
It's back. It's like, it's back. It's in the Game Pass. Oh, guys, wait a second. We're not done. We're not done. Wait, we're not done. Graw Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 1 and 2 are coming to backwards compatibility and will be on Game Pass at the end of the month.
What the fuck?
And that is the whole show. Oh, and let's talk about Division 2 that's coming to everywhere. The dev wants to talk about how they made the music. Oh, and we got another console. Here it is. Major Nelson, get your prostate exam gloves out. Here he comes. Look at this amazing console. Let me rub this shit sideways. Here we go. Oh, yeah, this is amazing. Oh, it's not for sale. Retweet and like it on Mixer, and you may be entered in to win this. Tease a Game of Thrones. During Game of Thrones, let's tease Game of Thrones console. Oh. You got to cut off your fucking nut. You got to retweet this. You got to sign up with your social security number. And email Major Nelson and tell him you give him a fucking blowjob. And you'll be entered in to win this console. Like, what the fuck is this? What are these contests? Like, you really spending money to make, like, what, 5 consoles to, like, put them in a fucking contest so you could retweet it in social media? Is that your kind of method? Meanwhile, you wouldn't even make a custom console for none of your IP. None of your IP. Sea of Thieves console? Nah. Let's see if they do a Gears of War console. Let's see. They should do a Gears of War X console. They should. Let's see. And let's talk about that Gears of War release date possibly in September. September 13th. And I hope that cover art is not the cover art, because that looks like budget game 101. It looks like expansion pack 101. And already people referring to Gears of War 5 Kate's story. Roll my fucking eyes. I'm telling you. They got criticized out the wazoo and stated it's a mistake what they did with Halo 5 and Agent Locke. That they did not focus on the main characters. And people saying Kate's the main character, her story arc, yeah, that's fine and dandy. Then get Marcus and his son the fuck out of there. Okay? If it was about Kate, then why do we have Marcus's son and Marcus Phoenix comes back for the whole entire game for Gears 4? Why? Oh, but it's about Kate. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, if Marcus and his son are not in this game and they're like in a cutscene and they say, "See you later, Kate," and Kate goes out with her and random dude, they're going to get criticized and saying that this feels like an expansion. It does not feel like Gears of War 5. And if that's the cover art of it, oh my God, like that is like, that can't be. That's a placeholder. But with Game Pass right now, it doesn't matter when they release it. It doesn't matter. Because I started they were saying that's coming out near Borderlands 3. If Gears 5 comes out with that cover art, and it's just Kate's story, and Borderlands 3 comes out, Gears 5 is going to be it's just going to be relevant to just people at Xbox. It's not going to drive console sales. And that's what people think. See, and this is where I told you guys, like, it grinds my gears about this stuff. Because if you are a true Xbox fan, you enjoy everything Xbox and you want to see it successful. And what you want to do, like what you want to see is your console being successful, in that you want sequels to games, you want them to make more consoles, you want them to make more games. More money means more games. Obviously, it doesn't to them in the last 3 years. So if that hasn't proven to you, it doesn't matter how well a game does or how poorly it does. Microsoft is not investing in games. They're investing in game building and delivery and mechanism and cloud and all this other stuff. And games just happened to come along for the ride, and they needed a bunch of studios to utilize their services, their game stack, their shit. Because they said they're called Xbox Game Studios, but, you know, Matt Booty
You want to spend the
Ho
rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
already said Xbox Game Studios means they're making games for PC, Xbox, and mobile. So Microsoft is utilizing. Why do you think that Major Nelson went out there and said, Oh, Cuphead is using all the Xbox Live features. Yep, it's open. All Xbox Live features are using Cuphead. Want to know why? Is because they needed to promote their Xbox Live structure on another device. That is the thing. What's up, Smooth? How you doing, man? But that's the thing. Like, it's not about bringing the games. It's about the services and support, and they need those studios for it. And that's the whole point of what they're doing. And that's why I said with Nintendo and Sony being on two different platforms where they're going out there and getting those games. Now, I'm not saying that those are blockbuster games. I'm not saying that they're going to win awards. But the fact that they're showing effort and bringing games to gamers, and Microsoft is building studios from scratch, I think that it's fine that they're building the studios, but why aren't they making those deals? Why aren't they looking for games? Because they know that these studios are going to take a time. They're going to take a time. Phil said 3 to 4 years, like 2 to 3 years. They know that's going to take time. But why wouldn't they go and grab a Marvel Ultimate Alliance, or go out and or make Killer Instinct 2, or getting developers? Hey, yo, you made this game. I'm trying to think of games off the head. Like, see, the thing is like, I wasn't thinking of Predator game. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, shit, that's cool. But, like, who made that Titanfall deal? Who made that shit? Who made those deals? Where are they at Xbox? They should be making those deals now and getting games out to people now as we go into the next generation. And then when those games come out, now their studios are ready to show. And again, I'm not saying state of play is amazing, but it's not E3. It's not expected to be E3. Xbox, inside Xbox is not inside E3, but presented by Sony Interactive Entertainment presents. Where is their publishing? And I'm telling you, it's not. I think it's Shannon Loftus's group. Shannon Loftus is the one that got Lucky's Tales. That's the deal that she made. Where are those deals? Where are they? And I'm not saying, oh, we want a shirt or pants exclusively. No, I'm talking about, where are those deals? I guess whoever made the Lucky Tales deal, why don't you go grab another game? Yo, you made Friday the 13th. Why don't you make a Predator game? Come on. Yo, you made this, let's get a Freddy. Yo, you guys making making that game, adding what is it? That Death by Daylight or whatever like that. Yo, we have a game for you. Let's make we're gonna fund your next game. We want you to put it on our platform. Who made the Titanfall deal? Who made the Dead Rising? Who made the Rise deal? Who made Sunset deal? Who made Quantum Break deals? Who made the Rise of the Tomb Raider deal? Who made these deals? Where are they now? They have been in hiding. It's either Gears of War, Halo, Forza, and indie games. There are no kind of middle-of-the-road games at all. Maybe that's what these studios are. I don't know. But it just shows in two state of plays, as trash as they were, 10 minutes, fucking just slideshow stuff, they've shown us two brand new games with known IP. Whether they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. It shows that they're bringing games to gamers. And then you look at Inside Xbox, and they're like, you can play Ninja Gaiden 1. Ninja Gaiden Black is backwards compatible. We got, we're not done yet. We got Saints Row 3. Here it comes. It's coming to Game Pass on. And it's like, okay. And here's a couple of indie games that are coming. Here's some old games from last year that are coming. Like, okay. Oh, and here's a discless Xbox, and here's us streaming the system, and here's this dude. It's like too much. Like, you're doing a lot of talking, but what you're talking is not turning into games that I could play. And that's my biggest frustration. It's like, I think I solved, like, where are those deals? And why, when we say where are the games, Xbox has no games, right?
To tell you the truth, this guy's starting to get on my nerves.
You know, when we all say that Xbox has no games and all this other stuff, they're like, oh, well, they bought studios. I understand that they bought the studios, but like these studios, we got to start at the beginning, really? And wait 2 to 3 years? Like that's everything they bought. We got to wait 2 years, 3 years, 4? It's going to take time. Like, if you know that, then you should be making subsequent content, because guess what? You start showing more hardware at E3 this E3. Like, you start showing more more hardware at E3 and not showing a game's lineup. That's a problem. And like I said before, Crackdown is on tons of systems. Like, all these games are on like multi-platform. They're on PC, Xbox, install base, but the demand for them is not there. So it doesn't matter how many places it is to play. If nobody wants to play the game, they're not going to play it. You know, people addicted to Fortnite. Yeah, they want Fortnite on their phone because they want to play it when they're not at home. Microsoft has to make that game. That's the thing. They don't have that game. They don't have that game that people are like, yo, I got to play this everywhere I go. And that's what they need to make in order to drive their streaming service. They got to make a desirable game. They got to create a demand, not a demand for the product, because technically the product you already own. It's more of a demand for the game. And just look what Fortnite did with Epic. Epic was like, they were on the map, but they really were just Unreal Engine doing that stuff. And now, with Fortnite on the map, Epic now has this big chest, and they're buying all these games to put it on their friggin' platform. Smooth says, you weren't just praising to show Subpar on that state of play, but now say, well, Crackdown doesn't have a demand. Crackdown doesn't have a demand. And I'm not praising Subpar games because I haven't played them. Sony just announced those games on State of Play. And I'm saying that State of Play is not State of Play for its presentation and stuff. It's to the point. But like, I don't know what Predator is going to be. I don't know what Iron Man's going to be. But the fact that they are announcing new games shows where they are in bringing games to gamers, where Microsoft is talking more about their services. That's the thing. It's all about the services. It's not about the games. And they need to understand that in order to promote your services, you need good games. The services go in the background, your games go in the foreground. And the games, and then the services. And Inside Xbox for over a year has shown that is not the place to get new game announcements. And I'm telling you right now, if you think that Sony is not going to E3, they're going to have a state of play, I am sure, the week of E3, and they're going to announce some release dates. Because I don't think it was enough to have a show, but I think they're going to do it. And Crackdown is a perfect example of services driving the game. It was more about the cloud than Crackdown, and we saw what happened. That multiplayer is trash. Because it was more about a proof of concept of the cloud working than whether the multiplayer was fun or not. And that's a perfect example of a victim of a service. And I really hope they're not planning to do that with their studios, because now they own these studios. I hope they don't shove their services and their Windows 10 bullshit down their throat and make the games that these guys were going to make garbage because they're trying to throw some Windows 10 platform bullshit at it. I hope they don't do that. I hope they're smart. But we're going to have to wait and see. Because we have no friggin' clue what those guys are making. And E3 is going to show. We're going to see what Gears of War looks like, or Gears 5 looks like. If Gears 5 is going to be... I still am nervous that Gears 5 is not going to be everything on day one. I think they're going to piecemeal that game out. Or they're going to do something for Game Pass for that game. They're going to do something. Either Horde mode comes in January, or who knows. But I can't see the Gears of War as we know it coming day and date with everything day one in Game Pass. That doesn't really fix that. That really doesn't fit into the Game Pass model. They got to keep you subscribed. And with the biggest games of the year, that game, Gears 5, they'll have to find a way. And we'll see. Hopefully they don't screw with the game. Because it's about the services. They have pushed Game Pass so much that Game Pass is the thing. Like, I think people have said it. Like, it wasn't Crackdown was coming out. It was like, no, Crackdown's going into Game Pass. Like, that was the news. Like, Crackdown's going to Game Pass. It was more about Game Pass and what games it was getting than actually the game. That's why I could see, like, I know people complaining, like, oh, if September 13th is Gears of War and, you know, Borderlands 3, they don't care. They don't care because it's going into Game Pass. It's just, you know, people subscribe will play the game. Like, they're not there looking for midnight launches and stuff like that. They don't care. They'll release it whenever. They didn't care about Crackdown. They didn't care Crackdown had the same release date as 4 other games. They don't care. They just stealth released it, put it out there, and you know what? People subscribe. Technically, they're already paid for the game because they're subscribing to our service. Like, we just put it out there. People play it. There's no like this like, oh, we got to have huge day one sales. Like, I don't think they think like that anymore. I know Crackdown $60. I know. Because it's going into Game Pass. And they've already shown this already with like how Sea of Thieves and State of Decay and even Crackdown. Like, they kind of like put these games out where they're like, even with Gears 5, if that game's coming out September, Gears 4, we already played a beta for Gears 4 already when Gears 4 was coming out. Gears 5, we haven't seen an ounce, a snippet of multiplayer. And the thing is that now it's day one Game Pass. We'll see. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that they don't make. And Gears 5 is games as a service. Halo is games as a service. Remember? Anything with DLC is games as a service, right? So I could see possibly they go Gears of War. Here's the campaign. They're talking a lot about the campaign, nothing about the multiplayer. Game Pass has changed the game. That's why I started this whole channel. Game Pass has changed the game. Don't make a game for Game Pass, just make a game. And everything we have seen since Game Pass has launched, the games have sucked. The games have been half-baked, not ready, glitchy as hell, and just plain as broken. Like Crackdown. With the multiplayer, no party invites, no system invites. How would they release a game like that? Forza is the only excuse. Forza is the only one that was not really affected by Game Pass, because Forza did have its whole thing put online though. It did have that, because Forza Horizon 3 didn't have. It had online, but it didn't have that kind of online kind of quest thing that they had like in Destiny. Crackdown was broken online. You cannot have party invites. What are you talking about? Sea of Thieves had no content in it, so maybe it wasn't broken. Sea of Thieves had no content. Crackdown multiplayer was broken. State of Decay had bugs. It still has bugs in it. But still, the games were made for service. And I'm telling, hey, hopefully they don't. Hopefully Gears 5 doesn't. Let's just hope. The invite system was broke. The party invite. You cannot invite friends in Crackdown. That's what was broken. You cannot invite friends in Crackdown. How? You are Xbox Live. You are Microsoft. This is a first-party game. How do you release a game that does not have a party invite system? It's built into the operating system. It wasn't private invites. It was matchmaking with friends. Hey, and then they released it. Wasn't broken, not broken.
I don't play this game.
It's piecemeal. They shipped it later. That's right. They kept out the party invite system as a token to give it almost like what, a month and a half later. Yep. Oh, quality. I need my thing about the quality.
I don't play this game.
Not playing to win is like sleeping with your sister. Sure, she's a great piece of tail with a blouse full of goodies, but it's just illegal.
But, we will see. But going back to the whole point of the thing is basically, showing new games is what these little shows for, showing new games. And for some reason, over the last 3 years, Microsoft has lost that little area. I don't know if it's the AA. I don't know if it's just that middle of the road. Maybe that's where these studios are for. But it's just like, it doesn't have to be E3, but it could be something new. And like I said, it's like Gears, Halo, Game Pass, or indie games. And it's just like, I don't know what happened to them in the last 3 years. They just focused all on this Windows 10. They're all in bed with their services and their cloud.
A huge cloud of shit. Wow. God, I think I smell it. Come on, let's go.
And so now we're looking at LinkedIn pages, seeing who they're hiring. You got a janitor, got an electrician. Maybe they make some games. I hope Ninja Theory's game is not, is what it should be. I hope it's a high quality game. Because that will be a true test. That will be a saying like, hey, these studios are going to make some big things. Because Microsoft's throwing a lot of money at them. They're throwing a lot of money, and that money is not free. Like, they're not building these studios so that these guys could just make whatever they want. Like, there's going to be reciprocity. Like, they're going to have to pay back. And what's the payback? They're going to have to use the stuff that Microsoft wants them to use. All they talk about is game stack and clouds and what was the other thing? And PlayFab and all that shit. That's where the money is. That's where their money is. They need people to demo how their shit works because the developers don't want to do this. They have trouble getting developers. Did you see the HoloLens demo in my last video? That HoloLens demo that failed, HoloLens 2, one was like, and HoloLens 2 failed on stage in front of all those developers. Like, they don't win over developers. That's why Windows Phone died. That's why they don't back their shit up. I don't know if it's because of old tales of Windows. I have no clue. But all the cool dudes are developing for Google. If you just watch Microsoft build and watch Google I/O, there are so many things that you're like, oh shit, like virtual, like, VR, moving around with Google Maps. Like, yeah, like walking directions. That makes sense. Oh shit, telling Hey Google to do this. It's product for the consumer. Microsoft is like a HoloLens, and you'll be teaching classes with this HoloLens that doesn't even work on stage. Like, and it's $3,000. Go buy one now. Start developing for it. We got about 5 apps in the store. No. And it's Satya. Satya comes in there and he's talking to all big businesses and enterprise and all this other stuff. And they have lost touch with the consumer. And that shit spilled into gaming. All that shit has spilt into the gaming over the last 3 years. Satya came in, wiped his ass with all this consumer shit. He said, no more consumer products. Keep that Xbox alive, but we're going to throw our Windows 10 services and all. We're going to make mobile games. Like, we talk trash games. Think about it. Miami Streets. Forza Street. Possibly going to the Switch. The game sucks balls. Sucks balls. But they won't put it on their gaming platform. I don't care. The game sucks balls. Why? What kind of message are you sending when you are making a game and you put it on every fucking device except the gaming platform you're selling? Oh, people think the game sucks. That's fine. I'm sure people think that other games suck. But what message are you sending to your gamers, to your core audience, that you're not putting your developed games on that system? That's the like, oh, talk about options. Yeah, everybody got options except you. Who's the one that's touting on Twitter that you have options? What message do you send? What is that? Exactly, Raven. The option not to buy it. That's a fucking option.
Not playing to win is like sleeping with your sister.
A huge cloud of shit. Wow. God, I think I smell it. Come on, let's go.
Like, seriously. Seriously, I don't understand the message that you're sending. And then, if we go this E3 and Gears Tactics is not announced for Xbox, that's just, what message are you sending? Oh, here, buy a new $600 console that comes out next holiday. Oh, but we're making games and we're not putting them on there. I don't give a fuck if they're good games, bad games, shit games, side games, pussy games, wet games. I don't care. The fact that you're making games and not putting it on your gaming system is fucked up.
Sir, do we get to win this time?
I don't get it. Sad. Yeah, like, it's just, their messaging does not make fucking sense. And that's what's going to hurt them. That's what killed them with the 2013 reveal. The messaging killed them. Because it wasn't about the games when they had the games. It was about the check-ins, the onlines, the DRMs. We'll get people to trade in the games. It was all about that bullshit and movies and TV. And here's Steven Spielberg. Let's get his ass out here. He's making a movie. We got these people making fucking movies. Here's watching TV. Swipe your ass. So it was all about that bullshit when they had the games. They weren't focusing on the games. And after they blew their load on all that other bullshit, they go, oh, and here's some games. And people are like, yo, man, I'm still talking about the bullshit that you announced last week. And here we are again. That toilet bowl's starting to fill up. That shit's coming to the top. We got Game Pass. You buy your game on Game Pass. We got Digital Day 1. We got Play Anywhere. We got the Xbox Sad Edition. We got the Xbox One S bundle. We got the X. We got a game preview program. We got this. We got games on PC Day 1. We got games on Switch with our services. We got all this bullshit. And Sony's going to walk out there, drop their pants, and go, PlayStation 5, motherfuckers. All your games look better. Here's a bunch of fucking games that only come to the PlayStation 5. We out. Drop the mic. $400. And Microsoft will be like, well, we got a $600 one. We got a $400 one. Well, we still got the S. The X is still going to play those games. Oh, but you could stream all those games on your phone. And people will be like, I just want a fucking gaming system to play my fucking games. It makes my PlayStation 4 games look better. They got PlayStation 5 games, the sequels to God of War, Spider-Man, games that look amazing only by the power of PlayStation for $400, $500. And that's it. Simple. Don't you remember the stupid ass video of the guy going, here's how you share your games on PlayStation. Simple. Simple. And Microsoft's tripping over themselves. And Sony just goes, here, there you go, simple. Nintendo, here, just take your shit on the road, go. Simple. Here's some games. And we're coming back full circle again. All the bullshit, all the talking, services, get your strap-ons, put them on your $50 controls. Yo, dude, you got a phone? Yo, why don't you buy a $50 controller with a $20 strap-on to play some games, dudes? What? I'm standing in line at the bank. I'm going to pull an Xbox controller out my fucking asshole and the plastic strap-on out my backpack and play a little bit of streaming on the go? Like, who? Who's going to pay $60, $50 for a fucking accessory that's not a phone case to play Xbox streaming? Who? Please. Please. I'll go to the fucking mall and interview people saying, here's a controller. Would you like to play this game? They'll be, get that shit out of my face. I'm not walking around a mall with the fucking goofy ass controller with that phone in there. I'll get my ass kicked.
You would need 3 promotions to get to be an asshole.
Like, seriously. But that's the future? Using the mall's Wi-Fi? Who? Who is this market? Who are these 2 billion people playing Candy Crush that all of a sudden now want to play Halo with a $60 Xbox controller? First off, you tell me how easy streaming is. Oh my God. Streaming, it's so accessible. You just play the game streaming. Oh, really? Is it? Well, it has a $40, $50 fucking controller you got to buy. Oh, no, you can use touchscreen. Those games are not made for touchscreen. Halo's not made for touchscreen. Yes, they'll put touchscreen controllers on the screen, but that game is not made for touchscreen. There's no lag. There's no lock to aim. Like if you play a game on a phone, it's made for a phone, and it has little kind of quirks like snap aiming and shit like that compensates for the lack of physical buttons. That's a phone game. You don't tell me I'm playing a video over the internet, touch screening on a game that's playable with an analog stick and 7 buttons. Where the fuck am I going to put 7 buttons on my screen? I'm going to be tapping the upper corner, the upper middle, the upper left corner. Dude, please. That is a lot of wasted energy. Wasted energy from Microsoft. It is a waste. It's waste from Google. The only thing Google has is that they got those Chromebooks out there, and their Chromebooks are weak as shit. And if you could play PC games or PC level games on your Chromebook, yeah, I know you could sideload you could sideload Steam via the Linux and shit like that. But if you could play like games on your Chromebook with a control, and controller with the Chromebook, okay. That thing will never run that stuff. I could see Google doing that. But that phone shit? That's no. Mobile gamers, people that play with touchscreen, they want that tactile feel with touchscreen. And you're not going to do that playing a video with how many buttons on a phone controller? You got 2 analog sticks. You got the L, so you got 1, 2. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 buttons. Enjoy tapping your screen. That's what the button. And count the L1, L2. That's 15 buttons. Like, seriously. Oh, and then get the controller and then put that strap on onto it so you have your phone on there. Like, come on, dude. Like, yeah, it's neat. It's a cool ball trick. But that's that power, man. That energy that they're putting into that stuff, it's just too much. Too much right now. And nonetheless, without the content. Without the content to say, you know what, we made this kick-ass game. You're going to want to play it taking a shit. You're going to want to play it when you're waiting on the bank. You're going to want to play it while you're at McDonald's. You're going to want to play that. Instead, they're like, oh, here's State of Decay. Here's Sea of Thieves. Here's some bullshit. You know, Ori, we still haven't heard anything about fucking Ori. It's been years. Like all these games, like you've never heard shit. You haven't shown anything. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. No fucking lineup. I'm going to tell you right now. Gears 5, they should be showing more of that stuff. What the fuck is this waiting to E3 bullshit? They should be showing little clips here or there. Maybe at the end of an Inside Xbox. Maybe a little trailer here or there. We're still using the trailer from last year's E3 reveal. That's how fucking sad this shit is. And I don't give a shit. People going, well, I love Gears. That's fine. But look at the marketing of this fucking trash. Like, we're using the trailer from last year and some hokey dokey interviews where they talk about stuff. They haven't shown shit. Is this a big, massive game? They talked about Super Smash Bros. For a whole fucking year. They've talked about Days Gone for 6 friggin' months, showing in-depth gameplay from Game Informer, showing more trailers about the game, leading up to the game, had it playable at PAX. Like, if this game really is coming out in 4 months, September, May 13th, September 13th, 4 fucking months? And we're still using the trailer from last year's E3 that only showed Kate and random dude riding around on icicles. It was an awesome trailer. But that's all we saw. Is there nothing else to the game? Like, where is, like, the build-up? You just just got to sit here and believe and pray and go, oh, I trust them. Where's the multiplayer? Where's the horde mode? Where's a little, like, exclusive details of the game? Like, we really got to sit for E3 next month. Like, we're not going to get it in May, obviously. But, March, April, there could have been a little stuff leading into E3 with Gears. Nope. You got to wait to E3. The fucking 1.5 hour stage show so they could show you another 2-minute trailer. Rod Ferguson holding a controller, and they're probably showing Gears Tactics. Where the hell is that mobile game that they announced last year? Another thing, why would you come out on stage and show that mobile game? And guess what? They still haven't released the mobile game. Gears, whatever the hell that was. Gears Pop. We're coming to a year. That game really needed to be announced a year ago. That Gears Pop really needed to be on E3 stage last year. It's a fucking mobile game. Why it hasn't been out yet? And I swear, if they launch that shit in beta, I'm gonna go fucking bonkers. Oh, well, Gears Pop's in beta starting today. Beta? It's a mobile game. I hope that they don't, like, why is a mobile game taking over a year to come out? Like, scratch my head. And it makes me think that they're out of touch. I don't know what they're doing with their developing studios. I think they need new people. They got to get their head out of Minecraft's ass. And that was the other thing I built. They fucking showed Minecraft AR.
What the fuck? I don't think so, sucker. Don't do it. I'm warning you. Do not do it.
Seriously.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, seriously, Arnold.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, I'll answer them. They showed Minecraft AR that you could hold your, not Windows phone, no, like hold my Android phone in a world, and I could see Minecraft guys running around on my screen.
Don't do that.
No, they are doing it. Because they can't get their head out of Minecraft's ass. And by the way, now that we're talking about Minecraft...
No deal.
No, let me tell you. Where the fuck is the 4K Minecraft update?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Yeah, where is it? That thing was announced prior to Xbox One X. Where is that 4K skin update for Minecraft? Their head so far Minecraft's ass. Like,
I lied.
oh, did they? Nah. But like, what? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. They don't have it. Not that, and again, I'm not saying like, oh my God, they need this 4K update, but what is going on over there where they're announcing stuff? Like everything they announce is just like poof. Poof. Delayed, not coming out. Like, again.
What do you mean I'm not an expert?
I'm not an expert. But I'm just a consumer looking at what's been offered. And where is it? Killer Instinct, they stopped supporting that game, Once they put it on PC, on Steam, no more updates to that in the last 3... I'm telling you, 3 years of the end of the world, Judgment Day. Like, it's been 3 years of they've just abandoned everything. It's all been about the service, the services. Phil Spencer will come out there and talk to you blue in the face, telling you about streaming. But ask him what fucking lineup we're getting this holiday, and he'll be like, humna. Phil, what games are coming? Phil, what games? What games are coming next spring? Phil, tell me about the next console. Wait. Yes, we are developing the next console. It is going to be very powerful. We're going to probably have 2 versions of it. We are definitely working on it. We're also working on an xCloud where I'm already playing the games on my phone. But Phil, what about the games coming out this holiday? But spring. What about Ori? What about Killer Instinct? A Perfect Dark? Perfect Dark? I don't know. But I'll tell you what we're all working on, xCloud. You'll be able to stream to your phone or any device. That he has no problem talking about. Our games are going to take years to make.
You want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
A huge cloud of shit. Wow. God, I think I smell it. Come on, let's go.
And that's it. I don't want to hear nothing else.
I don't know.
My ass hurts just watching this.
I don't know. And it's amazing how 2 piece of shit state of plays that amount to probably a commercial in inside Xbox has shown more new games than over a year of inside Xbox. And that's what I mean, Steel Clerks. I was thinking about that example too. Like, Sony, and that was another example. So they got Predator. They got Iron Man. They got Judgment, the guys who made Yakuza. Where was Microsoft going? Guys, you're making a game. Sega. Phil's heading to Japan. He's heading to Japan. Here he goes. He's going to Japan. Why is he like, guys, you make Yakuza. We don't have those kind of games on Xbox. Judgment. Why don't you put Judgment on our platform? I think that is a great game. Yakuza definitely has so many versions of it. I think will bring over a great audience. Maybe Judgment could be that game. Sega, come on. Who's making these deals? Instead, Phil's going to Japan going, I know you got a game that you're making for Sony. Would you like to show it on our stage at E3 and then say it's coming to Xbox? Okay, yeah, sure. All right, thank you. My trip here in Japan is done. Like,
who the hell are you talking to, son?
Like, that's what he does. Like, we would love to have your game shown on our stage at E3. We don't have a lot of Japanese games, but I think showing Dragon Ball on our stage will be a really nice thing. Would you mind coming over and putting in a? Yeah, sure, we'll do it. It's a multiplayer game, but yeah, it's okay. Like, where is he going? No, we want that game on our platform. Like Judgment, you have Yakuza, Sony. We're gonna get Sega Judgment. We wanna fund that game and put it on our platform. And I'm not saying again, like the games are amazing or like will they be amazing? I don't know, but the fact of the effort of who's making, that's the whole point of this. You see the effort from Sony, from Nintendo, from Epic, from like. The effort. And Epic, it could be a little bitch move because they're just signing little bitch stuff. They're not like going out and buying games. They're just saying, hey, come release in our store. Sony and Nintendo are funding games. So I'm not going to put Epic Store in that shit. But Epic is being aggressive more than what Windows 10 Store did. But like, look at what Sony and Nintendo, the competition in the gaming space. They have gaming platforms. They're going out and finding and making games for the platforms. Where is that dude at Xbox? Where are you? Did you go with like the rest of the group of Windows 8 when that whole group went fired? Like, where did they go? And that's the point, the effort. Where is that effort? They bought studios, we gotta wait. They started a farm to make the hamburger. And that's what they need to do. Missing out on a lot.
Not playing to win is like sleeping with your sister. Sure, she's a great piece of tail with a blouse full of goodies, but it's just illegal.
Not playing to win.
Sir.
Because everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is doing it. And they're making games that gamers could play. And when we have to talk Xbox, we got to talk about the studios and cross our fingers that they're going to make games that we might want. But I just don't understand why, when it comes to discussing about Xbox, we have to just say, well, they're hiring people to make studios. Like that's going to take time. They know that. So what is their backup plan? Why have they not been content? Why have they not been providing content to us leading up to these studios producing games? Why are they not out there identifying games to put on their platforms? Because Sony's doing it. Sony said, yo, you made Friday the 13th? We want to have a Predator game. Sony Studios presents Predator game coming, just a Sony thing. There you go. Nintendo goes, oh, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3? Let's put that on our platform. Thank you very much. Microsoft's not out there shopping for anything. And again, this is 3 years. This is not, oh, it's a dry spell of 4 months. 3 years of this. Why didn't they go and say, yo, Judgment, we want that on our platform. That looks good. Feels like that's a game that we don't have in our portfolio. Where is their eager to make games for their system? Where is it? I want to know who that person is, because they're not doing their job. And if it's Shannon Loftus, who just signed Lucky Tales and then called it a day, then that's what we're getting. Because I don't know where that person is. And this is something that I've seen in the fact that they have these shit little shows, but they're showing new games. Who made that Iron Man deal? Who made the Predator deal? That's Sony looking for games for their platform. I wish that Microsoft would do something equal, because then those studios could build all they want. And I don't understand how asking for new games from Microsoft is a bad thing. I'm not talking about multiplats, not talking about their studios. I'm talking about the games. And asking for more games. Microsoft's drive to make games for their gaming platform. And that's why people make fun when they go, Miami Streets is not going to Xbox. It's like, of those games that you do have, you don't even put them on your console. And that's the thing. Like, you don't even put those on your console. And the fact that they don't even have a VR system, that's another travesty. That's another problem. I could compare all those VR games are exclusive, because I'm telling you one thing, that Iron Man VR game is just coming to PlayStation. They kept that off of Vive and Oculus. Shit, yeah, I understand that those things are on PC, but like they said, no, you're making that for our console. So that's not even a VR exclusive. And Microsoft not even part of the VR. That's a podcast for another day. That HoloLens 2 thing was a disaster. It was hilarious. Epic fail on that shit. HoloLens 2 is made for the teachers maybe, or maybe for some guys that are trying to make, who the hell knows what they're trying to make. But it's not for the consumer. I'll tell you that right now. And VR is a missed opportunity for Microsoft. And the problem is like, they are not totally out of VR. That's the funny thing. Like, when you say VR, Phil's like, oh no, the PC is where it's at for VR. So he's not saying VR is trash. He's just going, we're not making VR for our Xbox. Oh, you want to see that HoloLens clip again? We're going to do that. For all you guys 20 watching, let's do that HoloLens clip right now and show how Microsoft's still in, even though they're not in VR, they got half a dick in AR. We're going to show that. I'm going to go right to that clip because I need a good laugh to end this show. I need a good, hearty laugh. Let's see. HoloLens demo. HoloLens 2 demo. Oh, where is it? Build. 2019. Where is it? There's that one. New. There it is. I'm not going to show Leo Laporte's one because that one was pretty funny. Microsoft Build Film. There it is. Nah, I don't want to show his. I had the one queued up from last time. Oh my god, just show my video. I have it on my video. It's easy to queue up that way. Yeah, I'm gonna find it. get ready for the music interlude. Music interlude while I find it, and here it is. This is gonna be fun. I get to share my. This is like the fourth wall here. All right, for the fans. You can hear me double talk here. Let's see.
HoloLens, Microsoft's AR solution.
Yeah, I know
We're
this guy.
Going to see the future. Billions, thousands of dollars in research development for HoloLens 2. For everybody out there,
I like this guy.
don't stop believing, guys. We're going to see Microsoft's VR, PlayStation VR. You're in deep shit right now because here comes HoloLens 2.
Aiken. Good morning. Welcome to Microsoft Build. My name is John Knoll, and I'm Chief Creative Officer at Industrial Light and Magic. The Apollo 11 moon landing was cutting-edge technology of the 1960s. And today, with the help of my friend, fellow Apollo aficionado, and author of A Man on the Moon, Andy Chaikin.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to recreate the mission using some 21st century technology, using the
Can't
power
wait.
of
This is amazing.
Unreal Engine and HoloLens 2. Andrew?
Thank you, John. Well, the Apollo 11 moon landing happened 50 years ago on July 20th, 1969. And like you, I've been waiting for that for a long time. And what made it possible was this.
Sorry.
Well, it seems that doing a live demo is actually harder than landing on the moon.
Indeed.
Thank you for your time.
Sorry.
You. Oh man, what a disaster! What a disaster! And that was in front of all the developers, and yeah, like seriously, all the developers at Build in a room, and it's not like this. Yeah. So seriously, there's HoloLens, and Phil Spencer's damn right. You know what? I guess he didn't lie to us because he's like, it's not ready. They're not ready. Everybody else seems to be doing fine. That Oculus thing just came out. Oculus Go, the Oculus, the Rift, and then the other one that's coming out with what the hell's the other one? The Oculus. Oh shit, the wireless one, not the Go. They already had that one, but there's another one coming out. They're coming out in a couple of weeks. They're coming out the third iterations of them. And that's the thing. Microsoft that's what I said. The fact that they're not in the conversation is going to bite them in the ass 3 years from now. Vive, Oculus, PlayStation, they're going to be coming out with their 2 and 3 and 4 version models. And Microsoft is not, and they're going to have developers all lined up to make games for it. And Microsoft's going to be sitting there going, oh, late to the party. Guess when that happened? Who's my good buddy in chat that said it? Who's my good buddy in chat? Don't want to bring up Windows Phone. Brian V. Yes. Smoke by the window challenge. I hope he's still in here, Brian V. Because, yeah. They did the same thing. iPhone, Android. I know. Oh, here we come. And they came in too late. And there you go. Nobody wanted to develop for them. And they did the same thing with VR. VR is just another avenue of experience. Oh, you never saw that? Oh, that was last week. That's the HoloLens. That was they announced it, and that was its debut. There you go. That's how they opened the show, and they just walked off the stage, never came back. Not ready. That's HoloLens 2. That was $3,500 worth of technology over there. And you want to know why it's a big deal? Because they want to get Snapdragon in there. They want that mobile. Microsoft is hungry for mobile. If you take nothing away from this whole thing, Microsoft, they talk 2 billion people, they're talking mobile people. So that's why you're going to see games on mobile. You're going to see Snapdragon operating system. They want that mobile market because guess what? That's where they're deprived. Android, Google, even Amazon, they got this market on lock. And Microsoft needs a piece of that. That's why if you can't beat them, join them. And unfortunately, this battle, Microsoft or Phil Spencer decided to take those console games, those console IPs, things that people value the console for and demand the console for, and throw that shit to the mobile wolves. Because I'll tell you another thing, PC is technically mobile for them. Like laptops and stuff like that. Like that's kind of another mobile strategy. Oh, they had it in the movie theater too, yeah. But that was their debut of it. Amazing. I'm not saying that's broken, and I know live demos are hard, but that was not a good stepping forward moment to prove this technology. And it's just like, it worked. I tried HoloLens 1. Like, it was all right. It was very small view, and, it looks neat, but it doesn't give you that immersion. But again, how can we be happy that Microsoft does not offer a VR solution? Nintendo lets you strap pieces of cardboard together to put the Switch in for a VR experience. Even Nintendo has some VR to it. And the $1 trillion company won't put it on its gaming platform at all. And in a world where Phil Spencer gloriously gives us options, he denies us that option. So choose what narrative you want to follow coming out of the horse's mouth, because they trip over themselves every single time. And that's why your boy Jez77 is here, and that grinds my gears when they are not clear on their bullshit. And as a consumer, it's frustrating. And as a PC player, it's frustrating. As an Xbox fan, it's frustrating. And when you see the competition doing everything they can to get you to game on their platform, and Microsoft putting their balls in the air, who cares? The sales show. The popularity shows. The hunger for games show. And wait for E3. And this E3 is going to be bigger than ever. And I don't mean bigger than ever in games for the console. Because if you're in it thinking this is going to move consoles, you're in the wrong game right now. Because that's not the game Microsoft's playing. Just look at the price of the Xbox Sad Edition. That's not priced to move consoles. And then on top of that, they make fun of themselves, showing how uninspired that thing is. That I had watched a YouTube video right before. The guy trying to put a regular DVD, a regular Blu-ray player in it because they left the eject button still on the motherboard. They had the connections all there. They basically just removed it. They just unplugged it and just like, oops, we forgot to put it in that piece. That's how uninspired that Sad Edition is. And they make fun of it, going, all we did was took out the drive. That's it. Meanwhile, they could have really made that thing smaller. They could have made that thing to go neck to neck with an Android, a Fire TV, a Roku, a better option, more media options, more games. Price it at $200. Call it a day, or $180. Make it smaller. Make it a different color. Call it the Xbox, the Xbox Mobile, some bullshit like that. People will buy it. I would buy it. But when you just show that you just basically just ripped out the drive and have the same shaped box, not smaller, you didn't do anything, you left the eject buttons, like it's just lazy, it's cheap. Coming from the $1 trillion company, the money is no option. What kind of option is that? And put it right next to store shelves that it looks like a bad Photoshop. Like, what are they thinking? You want them to move consoles. I want them to move consoles. The people come at me for saying, well, what are you complaining about? I want them to move consoles so they could get developers to make them fucking games. Is that a sin? Is that something that's wrong? I should just eat shit and smile? No. They need to move consoles. They need to get developer mindshare. Then they get gamers mindshare. Because right now, the only people hanging on right now are the people that just have this investment in Xbox and think they're going to do better. But I'm telling you, hearing what they say, watching what they do, I'm not confident that they are going to turn this shit around. And I think the stuff coming out of their studios is going to be mobile, mediocre bullshit just to keep Game Pass afloat and keep you subscribed. And hopefully you'll just forget that you're paying for it. And that's what I fear they're going to do. And they're going to take the franchises that I love in Halo and Gears of War and turn them into fucking piecemeal bullshit subscription Game Pass games. And that's my fear. That's what when I watch what nothing that they've said has proven otherwise. And they're not showing the games. They're not showing the games. It's not about the games. It's about their service bullshit. And I didn't mind last gen when they did this stuff because it didn't affect the games. It was just another, oh, that's cool. But they took the games now and made the games the sacrificial lamb for their services, hoping that they could get devs to do it. And it's been 3 years. Windows 10 store. What?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. This ship will self-destruct in 3 minutes.
You know, people are not switching sides, supposedly, because they just need, because they have nothing to talk about. The fact is that the effort on Microsoft to make games, to make gaming interesting, it's not there. It's about everything else. If you follow Microsoft, if you want Microsoft games, go look at LinkedIn because that's where all the action is, on LinkedIn. All these pie in the sky they hired the guy who drew the asshole on the horse for this game. Oh, that's great. We got that's great. They hired the guy, he drew the nipples of the guy who was in Uncharted 4. What? He was the nipple guy? Yes, he drew fucking nipples. Well, he's now hired at the initiative. Oh my god. The guy who drew the fucking nipples. The need nipple architect. He's there now. Hopefully he gives us some high quality 4K, maybe 8K nipples when the next gen comes out. Who makes that fucking news? But show me a piece of shit state of play for 10 fucking minutes that you could watch it while taking a shit. And show me Predator, a brand new game I no fucking clue making. Show me Iron Man VR. Whoa, Iron Man. Whoa, fucking Iron Man game. I don't give a fuck with VR. It's a new game. And it's interesting. It's not a new game look at these faceless people running around and shitting on themselves yeah, you go. Some indie fucking game. No. It's a known IP. It may be shit, it may be not, but it shows that there's effort. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Holy shit, I heard nothing about it. Now it just shows up on a state of play. Yeah, no release date, but it's something that causes conversation that's exciting. It is not the cringeworthy Inside Xbox that has over an hour of a show and doesn't reveal anything new except tell me of new old games that I could play in Game Pass. Or who's getting that midnight penal enlargement enhancement? What games get an enhancement? Where the fuck are the original Xbox games? Where the fuck is all this IP? Is it cool that we haven't seen anything but a fucking title screen to Battletoads? Battletoads would be an amazing game to show on Inside Xbox. But all we had was the screen of Battletoads from E3 last year. We are in May 13th. We haven't seen any new videos of Gears of War. We haven't seen anything on Battletoads. Why? But they had Inside Xboxes for the last fucking 8 months. and didn't even show anything. Exactly. And that's the problem. And I said this the last show about what Sony did with Days Gone, how they built up that game and showed little pieces bit by bit by bit and adding to the story and building up to it. But Microsoft left Crackdown 3 in incognito mode until like the week of. State of Decay 2. Oh, our campaign starts a week before the game launches. Sea of Thieves. It's been in beta with a gag order. Oh, and here it shows up. Like stealth launching these games. Battletoads. You saw a screen of it at E3 last year. We never talked this shit anything about it. How development's go. Here's some photos. Here's some screenshots. Nothing. And there's doubt that people think it's going to be a Flash mobile game. It's going to be just a reskin. And really the wait to E3 holds true. Like, what is the excuse? Everybody else seems to be fine with their development, showing games. Nintendo Directs announced, yo, here's Mario Maker. Here's a Platinum game. Here's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Here's Mario Golf. Like, shit, games all over the place. Nobody seems to have these problems or these restrictions. Nobody seems to be afraid to talk about games. Except for Microsoft. And that's what grinds my gears. And that's my problem. They don't talk. Everybody seems to be talking about games. But with Microsoft, you got to keep a gag order on until E3. And you got to sit there, wait till E3. What's up, Meds? How you doing, man? I think you are having a birthday too, aren't you? Happy birthday. I think you are having a birthday tomorrow or something like that. Fucking birthday, everybody. I'll give you Arnold.
Who is your daddy?
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
I'm not authorized to answer your question.
But I just don't understand the gag order to E3. Now, maybe that's where they build their show. We'll see. I'll do E3 predictions, but I think I've been dropping them all throughout these things. But it just shows over the last 3 years, they have been in a state of decay. And, you know, the studios, again, it's great. But are they going to deliver? Yeah, this gen, really, man, Glenza, it opened my eyes. Like, you know, I never thought that, and that's what it hurts the most. Like, it really does. Like, I never thought they would do this turnaround. And it's not just putting their games on PC. It's the fact that they're just not interesting anymore. The AK nipple maker. Yes, go back and listen to that. But it's not interesting. And you know, the technology is cool. Like, I'm sure it works. But like, when that's all it is, though, technology and play all the old games, they need something refreshing. They need something new. And they talked about all this IP. We haven't seen anything. He's been in this job, what, 4 years? 5 years? 4 years? He's been in this job for almost an entire generation. And we got what? We getting a Gears of War at the end. We never had a Fable this generation. No Project Gotham Racing. Like, even that shit. Like, take some of your games and redo them at least. Don't just slap them on and say, oh, yeah, they're enhanced. Get that penile enhancement going. Midnight Special. Major Nelson, pull out your gloves. Show that penile enhancement gel. But actually take a game and make it a celebration. They abandoned the Halo 3 10-year anniversary. That got abandoned. They let that go by. Shit. Like, no like, redone or anything. Like, what's going on? I just scratch my head. And nitpicking? No. It's just like more games. I want to be excited about Xbox again. And, you know, I just basically have a PC for doing my PC shit. And, you know, if an Xbox game that I'm interested in, like Gears, shows up, I'll play it over there. No, and it still goes like that Xbox Live. It's still so weird that they're charging when they're offering for free on the Switch Minecraft with Xbox servers and friends list, PC full-blown free, to go buy a console and say, well, the first thing you got to do is pay $60 and do Xbox Live. Like, I haven't had it since last February. And I haven't missed out on anything. Like, you know, so it was a test. I was saying, like, you know, I've been Xbox Live member for 15 years. And I was like, you know what? Let me not renew it now and see what happens. And then another thing. And I didn't talk about this. And you know, I know it's getting late out there. And this thing's going on again. But another thing that happened, too, was the EA Access coming to Xbox, coming to PlayStation in June. 5 years it's been on Xbox. It's been on Xbox since the beginning. I like EA Access. So EA games, but I like it because I play all the sports games. And I like the EA Access because I didn't have to go buy every single year sports games. I would just play the previous years because that came into the vault. And then I will play the 10-hour one, and then that game would come into the vault. Like, I would do that. Or what I would do is buy them physically, and then as soon as it came into the vault, I would trade them in and get $30 for them. That was kind of like my MO with EA Access, the way I'll play the game. Like, I'll play the 10 hours, then I will go buy the game physically. Usually I'll wait for it to go on sale because they come out the game like a month before it comes out. And then I'll buy the game and play it. And then by the time it comes to vault, I'll trade in where it's at max value because it started like around like playoff time. But the fact that it's going to Sony, like another move, like it just shows like the aggressiveness. And I don't know if it's EA doing it, but the fact that EA Access now, like that's a loss because that was an exclusive for Xbox for 5 years. And then they put it on PlayStation. Game downloads, that was a Xbox thing. Game Pass, you natively download stuff. Sony moved ahead and said PlayStation now you could download stuff. Like, Sony is responding to their competition. That's the difference. Like, Sony is responding to it. Sony could have said, "Now we don't want EA Access. Nah, get that shit off." No, but now EA Access is on the PlayStation. Like, now they're becoming more equals. Like, Sony responds. It shows that they're, and again, Sony could be a one-trick pony that they're in there for the, you know, for the gaming console. But the thing is that owning a console where the people who made the console are actively seeking content and seeking features, you know, maybe they fucked up like a couple years ago where they said it's not value and now it's a value, and you know what? But the thing is that they're not fucking up the other way where they told me one thing and then I don't get it. Instead, they said some bullshit, and now they're giving you the bullshit. So you know what? I win in the end. But if you're telling me I'm going to get all these IP and then you give me nothing, now it's the other way around. Now you're pissing me off. But if you tell me some bullshit like, you know, you don't need that, and I'm like, oh, fuck that, I want that. And they're like, no, you don't need that. But now all of a sudden they go, yo, here you go. I'm not going to be mad because I'm going to be like, yo, thanks. Now I get mine, you know? But if you tell me, oh, IP's coming and all this other shit and nothing shows up, now that's some bullshit. Now you led me astray. So them realizing that shit should be there, like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but they did it. And it just showed, and then Nintendo being aggressive, like, they make it exciting for a gamer right now. Microsoft may be exciting for a gamer, the gamer 5 years from now. But we all know, 5 years in technology, you know, what was your phone 5 years ago? Probably the same phone, just a lot slower. But, like, technology, 5 years is a long time. 4 years, 3 years. That's a long time in technology. You know, talk 3 years ago, did we know Battle Royale wasn't even a thing? And how that changes everything. So, you know, talking 2 and 3 years, Phil Spencer, you know, that's a long time in gaming or technology terms. A lot of stuff can change. But I don't want to throw that EA Access thing in there. It's getting long. Shit, 2 hours. But hey, I haven't done it in a little bit. I'm going to try to do another one. I think there's another topic I wanted to talk about too. But I'll put some stuff together so it doesn't kind of overlap with this one because I threw some stuff in here. But I want to thank you, Grinders, again for showing up. Thanks, Smooth and Meds and Merc, all those guys showing up. Appreciate the conversation. I want to thank Grinders out there. And again, this has been Jez7780. Oh, shit. Brian V coming in with the last minute topic. The 9 million users on Game Pass. Yeah, I saw that. I'm just going to leave it as this, is that I don't think that that's real. You know, Microsoft can't confirm those numbers. I think it was a calculation, but you got to realize too that what Game Pass, everything with Microsoft now includes Xbox Game Pass, like even their subscribers, Game Pass. You could be no, you know what? I don't see 9 million on users on Game Pass right now. I don't. I don't say. I do think though they're in the millions definitely, but 9 million just seems a lot really high, and the thing is, I bet you it fluctuates a lot because of the $1 a month subscriptions and stuff. Like how many are recurring users? But if it is 9 million, that's great. But again, my fear with Game Pass, I think it's a great value. I think it's a great thing for Meds. Meds, he's living the dream right now because not having it and then getting it and getting all those games like for that low cost, like amazing. And the games that they're putting in there, they're showing a lot of effort in there. And I love the effort that they're showing in Game Pass. I just wish that effort would come to some new game announcements. And maybe that's what's at E3. For them. Not new game announcements of multi-plat games that are available everywhere, but some cool things that Microsoft handpicked. Microsoft curated for their install base. That's what I've been trying to say. Like they have curated that game would go good with our console. We want that here. That guy that picks it, Titanfall, that looks like something our guys will want to play. Dead Rising 3, yeah, that looks like something we need, that zombie kind of game. Rise, we don't have something like curate games. I haven't seen that in a long time, about 3 years. And that's what majorly this whole thing's about. Sony seems to be curating and handpicking things that they think their gamers would like. I like that. It's interesting. Whether those games are good, we don't know. But the fact that the effort is there, I like to see some effort on Microsoft's side. Not telling me that they're building a new building for some studio that I have no clue what the hell they're going to make. They could do that, but they should be curating and making games for us right now. They got to go into next gen strong. You can't be sitting there with your hands in your pants going, well, we got buildings and people making shit. Come buy a $500 or $600 console. That's not going to fly. And I'll leave you guys at that. But thank you very much. Again, it's been Jez7780. Follow me on Twitter and share the video out. I want to thank you again, Grinders. And I am out.